We gotta play that Infinite when it comes out. Hell yes, dude. I'm so excited for Infinite. You have no idea. So like, I had a plan that if for some reason like this, I wasn't gonna get any questions today, I would talk about E3 and like my thoughts on E3 and like all the news that had come out from E3 because you know we're gamers here. We're gamers and we could talk about these things and have an open discussion about these things. So I also have like a 350 good questions to ask list like pulled up too. You know, I'll interview myself. Why the fuck not? But let's talk about E3. So, I would love to hear your thoughts too on like Infinite. Like, what did you guys think about Infinite coming out this holiday season? What did you think about like the multiplayer trailer, the new story like bits that we got? How do you think this compares to last year's showcase where, you know, the infamous Craig had shown up? And yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. But I can start with I love that the multiplayer will be free to play. Yes, so that's pretty much one of gonna be the things I'm looking forward to, is that if you do want to play Infinite, you wouldn't have to pay, and I think that's amazing, and that's going to be incredible for the player base. Will there still be OP aim assist? I mean, if you are playing on controller, aim assist exists. That's something that you can't turn off for controllers. Like, aim assist exists as long as controllers exist. So if you plan to play with a controller, then you're going to have aim assist. And that's just going to be the reality of it. But I'm so excited for like multiplayer because like the one thing that I think the Halo community lacks is a steady flow of new players. Like I mentioned before, like most likely the person that you're playing against is someone who hasn't stopped playing since 2007 and has 2 kids with a 3rd on the way and has puke on their shirt. And it'd be cool to get new people into the franchise, but I know that it's so intimidating for new people because the franchise is so old and because there are people who haven't stopped playing. And so I'm really excited that the access will be opened up and people can get involved and we get new blood, if that makes sense, into the community. Still feels like Halo despite the quicker movement and grappling hook. Return of abilities is interesting. I know for some it was too random or changed the dynamic too much during matchmaking. Oh man, the whole discussion of sprint versus no sprint is really interesting to me because I can totally see both sides and the benefit of having either or not the other. And the return of abilities is something I'm very excited for because like what they have for Infinite is that it's equipment. So instead of like abilities that are attached to your player, for example, you have abilities that people can pick up. But they did like a hybrid approach where you have abilities that you can pick up, but you could choose when to use it. So you're basically holding on to that ability until the right moment. And I personally do like the dynamic that's in Halo 3 where you have to like predict when certain power-ups are going to be on the map, and that plays into the map control side of Halo. And it'd be interesting that this mechanic is going to buck that. It's going to be a part of it, but not so much, where now the player has a bit more control over the abilities that they use, but they still have to like forge that from the map itself. So it's going to be interesting to see how that changes like strategy within Halo. Everyone is so good at it. Yeah. That's what scares away a lot of people, is that you want the game. What's successful about multiplayer games is that it's still accessible to the new players, but they reward the players that have taken the time to learn the game. But you don't want new players to come in and feel like they can't get better at the game because someone has like 15 years of experience behind them. You want people to come in and they feel like they can improve at the game if they really tried. And that's partially why I like Valorant, is that, yeah, it's fucking hard, but you can see benchmarks of improvement. You can see how you can improve, and there's plenty of ways to improve, and that's why I like it. Like, I'm playing a year after release, and it's not like impossible. I still get kills and they reward you for that. Yeah. The trailer looked great, but I'm still 50-50 because we still got to see raw gameplay, like a full match of Slayer or CTF. Overall, everything is looking good so far. Yeah, so I think, here's my theory, is that the gameplay that they, what they did show so far in the showcase this year was meant to show, is more for the graphics showcase. To show that the game is looking like next gen, and it's meant to like appease the expectations of people who were disappointed from last year's showcase. That's what I think the purpose of that showcase was. It was to show that it was basically win people back. And it's, I would say from a marketing standpoint, that's a really smart decision. And then they release gameplay, and we'll see how that goes. And so so let me go ahead and actually put up, like, I don't know, the Xbox showcase in the background. Halo. Sure. Let's just put this in the background while we chat. Yeah, so let's transition that. I'll play that. That there. Yeah, that makes sense. Everyone is equally boned. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just a theory, just a game theory. But yeah, hold up, I gotta change shit. Hold on. I fucked up. Let me change this. Hold on. It's like not. There you go. Transition. Okay, fix that. The sprint looked like a slow jog, so I was happy about that. So sprint is going to be really interesting. I would have to really play the game to feel it out. I'm of the camp that I prefer no sprint in Halo. I think that I like the idea that everyone is of the base speed, and it puts less concentration on movement and more concentration on the sandbox, and that's what I prefer. But I understand why people would want sprint, and I think I would be inclined to agree, in that it does modernize the game a bit. It does add another element where you have to be choosy about when you do sprint and when you don't sprint. So I could see how that would enrich the gameplay for sure. I'm in the no sprint camp as well. Yeah, so I think that, I hope that 343 after 3 games have perfected sprint in such a way where it adds to the gameplay rather than takes away from it. But yeah. Oh, this is a Battlefield gameplay. I was gonna make like this really tongue-in-cheek tweet on Twitter about like the Battlefield gameplay, more so the key art. The key art where it's just like this dude, this gruff, like gritty looking dude with his back to the camera with the gun and looking all cool, you know, like. Hold on, sorry, I was like copying, and then I ripped out my headphones. Like his back's to the camera, and he's looking back, and he's looking back like this. Like every fucking key art of every military shooter uses that, and I can't tell the games apart anymore when that happens. How much are you interested in the Halo Infinite single player? I am pretty interested. I actually really love the Halo campaigns. Actually, I was playing like the Halo 3 some months back. I was replaying the whole entire Halo trilogy, and I was just thinking about myself how much I miss games like campaigns like this, excuse me, where Halo 3, like the Halo games were 10-hour experiences, right? And you have an objective, it's linear, and you go for it. And like, although I think that the things, okay, so we're in a Halo Infinite. So the thing is that what makes like open world games and these huge like worlds and long experiences that the game industry is offering to players is incredible, and like it's amazing to me that you can basically experience a second life within these games. And although I commend yeah, just like the sheer impressiveness and spectacles of these games, I do miss the encapsulated, unique, like, world experiences that, like, the Halo campaigns offered. Just because, like, I love being able to, like, hop into a game, know what I'm going to be doing, experience it, and then I have something to think about. Like, to me, an open world game is the same as, like, reading a 1,000-page novel. And if I'm in the right mindset, I definitely would appreciate it. But sometimes I just want to read the book and experience something and then go back to my life. And so I'm very much invested in, like, the Halo campaigns for that reason. So I'm very, very excited for the Halo Infinite single player. I think it's going to be interesting how they're going to handle, like, the shit that happened in Halo 5. I didn't play Halo 5, though, but I know it happens. And I hope, based on what they showed of the campaign recently, I hope that they don't just full-on retcon Halo 5. I think there are more graceful ways, elegant ways of resolving, like, the plot points that were brought up in 5 than just saying Cortana died or whatever. So it will be really interesting to see how they take that. Aang said, kind of a surprise there was no unique game type like they did Dominion for Halo 4 or Warzone for Halo 5. Yeah, so I'm interested to see if they might have something for Infinite. We'll just have to see. I can't wait to play the story for Halo 6. Hell yes, I hope so too. Gotta finish up Halo Wars 2 though. How far are you in Halo Wars 2? I'm like, I wonder, okay, so we're gonna be talking about Infinite. I'm actually gonna, let's do a breakdown while we're here. Like I have, yeah, sure, why the fuck not? Okay, so game overview, yada yada yada. Okay, we're getting into the meat. Okay, so here we have campaign. So is that the mongoose? Is that a fucking mongoose? Why does it look like a race car or something? Or like a go-kart? You can see like an assault rifle over here on the right side.